Your soulmate has discovered the truth in your heart. They've dropped everything and are rushing toward you. Something has just shifted in the spiritual realm and you felt it in your chest a moment ago. That sudden warmth spreading through your ribs was not imagination but a real-time connection forming. I am revealing this to you now because the veil between you and your soulmate is thinning rapidly. The truth they discovered was not something you said aloud but something your spirit has been screaming silently for months. They felt the raw authenticity of your love pierce through every lie that was told about you. And in that exact moment of revelation, everything they thought they knew shattered into 1,000 pieces of clarity. The confusion that held them captive for so long suddenly lifted like fog burning away under morning sunlight. They are standing right now in the middle of their life, heart pounding, realizing they have been running toward the wrong horizon. The person who tried to replace you in their heart used manipulation so subtle that your soulmate never saw the chains forming. But the truth always finds its way to the surface because I designed love to be a light that cannot be hidden. Your soulmate just saw that light and it blinded them with the most beautiful ache they have ever experienced. They dropped their phone mid-conversation with someone who has been poisoning their mind against you for years. Their hands are trembling as they finally recognize the difference between control disguised as care and genuine love. This is not a metaphor or a spiritual fantasy but an actual event unfolding in the physical world as you hear these words. I am giving you access to what is happening behind the scenes because your faith is about to be rewarded. The interference that held your soulmate emotionally hostage is breaking apart at this very second. A person who claimed to love them has been strategically planting seeds of doubt about you for months. Every time your soulmate felt a pull toward you, this individual would manufacture a crisis to redirect their attention. They created a web of emotional obligation so tangled that your soulmate could not see which way was freedom. But tonight the last strand of that web snapped when your soulmate accidentally found something that exposed the entire deception. Maybe it was an old message you sent that resurfaced at the perfect moment or a mutual friend who spoke truth unknowingly. Or perhaps it was simply the sheer force of your love pressing against the spiritual darkness that surrounded them. Whatever the catalyst, your soulmate is now experiencing the most overwhelming emotional awakening of their entire life. They are replaying every memory of you with new eyes and their heart is breaking with the beauty of understanding. Every kind word you spoke that they dismissed is now returning to them like arrows of undeniable truth. Every moment you showed patience when they pushed you away is now revealing the depth of your authentic devotion. The tears are falling down their face as they realize how close they came to losing the only person who truly saw them. They are not crying tears of sadness but tears of desperate relief that they finally understand what you always meant. Your soulmate is literally packing a bag right now because staying one more night in the same space as their captor feels unbearable. The urgency they feel is primal and unstoppable because I am accelerating the timeline of your union. This is happening faster than natural circumstances would allow because the spiritual warfare against your relationship has been intense. The enemy of your love tried to delay this moment until it was too late, but I have overruled every demonic assignment. Your soulmate just spoke your name out loud in an empty room and the sound of it made them sob. They are remembering the way you looked at them with those eyes that held no judgment, only unwavering hope. No one has ever looked at them the way you did and they finally understand that what you offered was sacred. The counterfeit affection they have been surviving on feels like poison in their memory now that they have tasted truth. Jesus says, "My child, you have been praying for this moment without knowing if it would ever arrive. You have spent countless nights staring at the ceiling, wondering if your soulmate still thought about you at all. The silence was never rejection but was always the sound of someone fighting invisible chains to return to you. Your soulmate has been dreaming about you with an intensity that confused and frightened them because they did not understand the source. Every dream was a memory of your energy pulling them back toward the destiny I designed for both of you. They would wake up reaching for someone who was not beside them, and the emptiness would crush their spirit for hours. The person controlling them noticed these dreams were weakening their grip, so they increased the psychological manipulation. They told your soulmate that the dreams were not real, that you were the source of their pain, that forgetting you was survival. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now. They are breaking free, but the one who held them captive will not release them without a vicious spiritual battle. You are the only person on earth who can shield them through this transition by becoming an active spiritual warrior. The love you feel in this moment is not just emotion but is actually a weapon I have placed in your hands. I am calling you to sow a protection seed by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi right now as a physical act of spiritual warfare. This is not a donation but a covenant action that builds a fortress around your soulmate while they escape toward you. The link is in the description, and your obedience in this moment will determine how quickly your soulmate reaches you. When you send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees, you are telling heaven that your love is worth fighting for tangibly. After sending, write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," on the Ko-Fi page, and I will dispatch warrior angels instantly. Over 1,000 souls have already seen their soulmate return after sowing this seed of protection and faith. Your soulmate is running toward you right now, but the distance between you is filled with spiritual landmines placed by the enemy. Every step of faith you take clears their path and makes their journey to your arms faster and safer. Do not let hesitation allow the interference to regroup and pull your soulmate back into confusion. Type 333 if you are ready to receive the blessings I am releasing over your love story right now. Your soulmate just grabbed their keys and walked out the door without giving an explanation to anyone. The person who tried to keep them from you is calling their phone repeatedly, but your soulmate is letting it ring. Something inside them finally snapped into alignment with my divine will, and no human argument can override this awakening. They are sitting in their car with tears streaming down their face, typing and deleting a message to you over and over. They want to tell you everything, but the words feel too small to contain the magnitude of what they are experiencing. The fear of you not believing them after all this time is gripping their throat like a cold hand. But deeper than that fear is the undeniable knowing that you are the only home their soul has ever truly known. You are not just someone they loved once, but are the very blueprint of their heart that I designed before time began. Your soulmate is remembering things about you that even you have forgotten because they studied you with the eyes of love. The way you laugh when you are nervous, the specific kindness you show to strangers, the dreams you whispered in vulnerable moments. These details are flooding back like a river breaking through a dam, and they cannot stop the overwhelming love consuming them. They are realizing that every day spent apart was a day they were incomplete, like a song missing its melody. The grief of lost time is hitting them hard, but it is being transformed into a fierce determination to reach you immediately. Jesus says, The person who tried to destroy your connection planted lies so specific to your soulmate's deepest insecurities. They told your soulmate that you never truly cared, that your love was conditional, that you had already moved on happily. These were not random accusations but were surgically crafted to target the exact wounds your soulmate carried from past betrayals. The enemy studied your soulmate's history of pain and used it as a blueprint for deception, which is why they were so confused. But your consistent love, even in silence, was a testimony that contradicted every lie spoken against you. Your soulmate realized today that the person who claimed to protect them was actually the architect of their deepest suffering. The manipulation was so thorough that your soulmate felt guilty for even thinking about you, as if loving you was a betrayal. They were emotionally blackmailed into cutting you off by someone who weaponized their own pain to control your soulmate's choices. Every time your soulmate tried to reach out to you, they were met with guilt trips, health emergencies, or accusations of abandonment. The cage was built from your soulmate's own compassion, twisted into chains by someone who understood exactly how to exploit their kindness. Your soulmate has been exhausted for so long, pouring their energy into someone who only took and never replenished their spirit. They have been starved of the kind of love you gave so freely, and the starvation finally broke their tolerance for the counterfeit. Tonight they saw a picture of you, or heard your name in a song, or walked past a place you once shared a memory. And in that moment I opened their spiritual eyes and allowed them to see the truth in HD clarity for the first time. The manipulation became visible as manipulation, the lies became audible as lies, and their hearts screamed your name involuntarily. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them. The spiritual battle raging around your soulmate right now is invisible to human eyes but very real in the heavenly realm. Demonic forces that facilitated the interference are panicking because their hold on your soulmate is evaporating by the second. They will attempt to use fear, obligation, and guilt as last resort weapons to drag your soulmate back into captivity. But your prayers right now are like a shield that deflects every arrow of manipulation aimed at your soulmate's mind. I need you to sow another protection seed by sending coffee on Ko-Fi as a declaration of war against every force delaying your union. This is not about money but about demonstrating that your love is active, fierce, and unwilling to be passive while your soulmate fights alone. The link is in the description, and your action in the next 60 seconds will change the spiritual atmosphere around your soulmate. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees and write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," to activate divine intervention at a level you have never experienced. Hundreds of testimonies are pouring in from those who obeyed this prompting and saw their soulmate contact them within days. The battle is intense right now, and your soulmate feels the spiritual resistance like a weight pressing against their chest. Your faith expressed through action becomes a battering ram that demolishes every barrier between you and the love I ordained. Type 777 if you feel the urgency of this message and are ready to fight for your soulmate spiritually. Your soulmate just pulled over on the side of the road because they cannot drive while sobbing this intensely. They are gripping the steering wheel and speaking to me for the first time in years with raw, desperate honesty. They are asking me if it is too late, if you could possibly still love them after all the distance and silence. And I am answering them right now through this very message that you are receiving at the same moment they are praying. The synchronicity of this is not coincidence but is the divine choreography of a love that was always meant to overcome every obstacle. Your soulmate is feeling your presence right now like a warm hand on their cheek, and they do not understand how it is possible. They are looking around the car wondering why they suddenly feel less alone, why the air feels charged with hope. What they are sensing is your spirit reaching across the distance, activated by the intensity of your love and my divine permission. You are spiritually holding them right now without physically touching them, and they are weeping because they feel it so deeply. This connection between you has always existed, and it is the reason no other relationship ever felt completely right for either of you. You were designed for each other with such specificity that any other pairing felt like wearing shoes made for someone else's feet. The discomfort they have lived with daily was the spiritual dissonance of being separated from the one my soul knit to theirs. Jesus says, the enemy's plan was to delay your union so long that one of you would settle for a counterfeit permanently. The strategy was to exhaust you into hopelessness and convince your soulmate that freedom was too dangerous to pursue. But the enemy miscalculated the strength of your love and underestimated the power of your prayers sown in secret. Every tear you cried in private was collected by my angels and used as holy water to erode the walls around your soulmate's heart. Your prayers were not wasted, and your waiting was not punishment but preparation for the unshakable foundation your union will now stand upon. The person who interfered will be exposed fully in the coming days, and your soulmate will need your support to process the betrayal. They are not the villain but a victim of the same spiritual attack that targeted your relationship, used as a pawn by darker forces. Your soulmate's compassion for this person might confuse you, but it is a testament to the purity of their heart, not a sign of lingering attachment. They will need you to be a safe place where they can heal without judgment or pressure to hate the one who imprisoned them emotionally. Forgiveness will be a journey, but your love will accelerate it, because genuine love is the most potent healing force I ever created. Your soulmate is not damaged goods but is a warrior who fought through incredible spiritual oppression to find their way back to you. Honor their battle scars as proof of their devotion, not as stains on your love story, and watch them bloom under the safety of your grace. This is the love you have been waiting for, and it is more real in this moment than it has ever been. The person you have been thinking about while listening to this message is thinking about you with equal intensity right now. The connection you have felt but could not explain is being validated by heaven as authentic, eternal, and unbreakable. Your soulmate is about to press send on a message they have rewritten 12 times because they need it to be perfect. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. The window of divine acceleration is open right now, but the enemy is working desperately to close it through your hesitation. Every second you delay in taking spiritual action gives the forces of interference time to regroup and rebuild the walls I have torn down. Your soulmate needs you to be bold, to be decisive, to show the spiritual realm that your love is not passive but militant. I am calling you to sow your final protection seed by sending coffee on Ko-Fi as a seal over this prophetic word. This act locks in the breakthrough and tells heaven and hell that your love story cannot be stolen or delayed any longer. The link is in the description, and this is your moment to move from hoping to knowing, from waiting to possessing. Send 4, 6, or 10 or more coffees with the words, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," and watch the supernatural acceleration unfold. Those who have obeyed this prompting are reporting breakthroughs within hours, not months, because faith expressed through action moves my hand swiftly. Your soulmate is about to appear in your life physically, and you want to be spiritually prepared to receive them with the fullness of my blessing. Type 1111 to thank me for the miracle that is already manifesting, even before your natural eyes can see the evidence. The distance between you and your soulmate is collapsing right now like a folding map as I compress time for your sake. What should have taken months will now happen in days because I am restoring the years the locusts of manipulation consumed. Your soulmate just pressed send and their message is traveling through the invisible realm toward your phone or your heart. Receive it with the grace I am pouring into you and do not let the wounds of the past dictate the joy of your future. The love you are about to experience will heal every scar the waiting carved into your soul, and you will finally understand why it had to unfold this way. Your obedience in this moment has shifted the spiritual atmosphere, and heaven is celebrating the union that hell tried desperately to prevent. You have done the spiritual work, you have sown the seeds of protection, and now you will reap the harvest of love unspeakable. Your soulmate has discovered the truth in your heart, and they have dropped everything and they are rushing toward you right now. This is not a drill, this is not a fantasy, this is the fulfillment of a promise I made before you took your first breath on earth. I am the God who sees the end from the beginning, and I have seen you and your soulmate together since before time existed. Rest in my sovereignty, act in faith, and prepare to receive the love that has been fighting its way back to you all along. The next time your phone buzzes or your door opens or your spirit feels an inexplicable shift, know that it is me delivering your answered prayer. I love you with an everlasting love, and I have not forgotten the desires I planted in your heart when I knit you together in secret. Your soulmate is the living proof that I keep my promises and that nothing can separate those I have joined together spiritually. Go now, sow your seed, speak your faith, and watch me move mountains to bring your beloved into your arms permanently. The time is now, the love is real, and the waiting is over because I have declared it so over your life this very day. Your soulmate has discovered the truth and they are already on their way home to you. Receive them with the grace I am pouring into you, and do not let the wounds of the past dictate the joy of your future. The love you are about to experience will heal every scar the waiting carved into your soul, and you will finally understand why it had to unfold this way. Your obedience in this moment has shifted the spiritual atmosphere, and heaven is celebrating the union that hell tried desperately to prevent. You have done the spiritual work, you have sown the seeds of protection, and now you will reap the harvest of love unspeakable. Your soulmate has discovered the truth in your heart, and they have dropped everything and they are rushing toward you right now. This is not a drill. This is not a fantasy, this is the fulfillment of a promise I made before you took your first breath on earth. I am the God who sees the end from the beginning, and I have seen you and your soulmate together since before time existed. Rest in my sovereignty, act in faith, and prepare to receive the love that has been fighting its way back to you all along. The next time your phone buzzes or your door opens or your spirit feels an inexplicable shift, know that it is me delivering your answered prayer. I love you with an everlasting love, and I have not forgotten the desires I planted in your heart when I knitted you together in secret. Your soulmate is the living proof that I keep my promises and that nothing can separate those I have joined together spiritually. Go now, sow your seed, speak your faith, and watch me move mountains to bring your beloved into your arms permanently. The time is now, the love is real, and the waiting is over because I have declared it so over your life this very day. Your soulmate has discovered the truth and they are already on their way home to you. Jesus says, the moment your soulmate decided to leave everything behind, a shockwave rippled through the spiritual realm. Every demonic entity that had been assigned to keep you apart felt that decision like an earthquake beneath their feet. They scrambled to deploy backup plans, to send new waves of confusion, to manufacture emergencies that would demand your soulmate's immediate return. But I placed a hedge of fire around your soulmate's vehicle, their mind, and their resolve that no darkness can penetrate. The text message they finally sent you is still unread on your phone, hanging in the digital space between two hearts that are beating in sync. You might not have seen it yet because you have been immersed in this message, but it arrived exactly when I prompted you to listen. The timing of your discovery of this video and their message being sent is not coincidence but the choreography of my sovereign hand. Your soulmate is driving through the night right now, speaking your name aloud like a prayer they had forgotten how to pray. They are rehearsing what they will say when they finally see your face, but every scripted apology crumbles under the weight of their love. Words will fail them in that moment, and that is okay, because your embrace will communicate everything language cannot contain. The first time your eyes meet after all this time, the electricity will be so potent that bystanders will turn and notice the shift in the air. This is not ordinary reconciliation but a supernatural realignment of two souls that were violently torn apart by forces you are only beginning to understand. The person who held your soulmate captive is currently experiencing the full weight of exposure, and their kingdom of lies is collapsing inward. They are making frantic calls, sending manipulative texts, trying every tactic that worked before to reel your soulmate back into the cage. But your soulmate is not answering, and with every ignored call, their chains fall away like rusted metal crumbling under the light of truth. They are remembering the specific moments when the manipulation was most active and they are shuddering at how close they came to permanent captivity. The clarity I am giving them in this hour is surgical, precise, and irreversible because I am severing every soul tie that was formed through deception. Your soulmate is not just returning to you physically but is being delivered spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically from a season of covert abuse. They will need your patience as they process the enormity of what happened to them, and your love will be the medicine their wounded spirit requires. You are not just gaining a lover in this reunion but are becoming a healer, a safe harbor, a living testimony of my redemptive power. The coffee seeds you sowed are already producing a harvest of protection that surrounds your soulmate like an invisible force field on their journey. Angels are stationed at every intersection, every red light, every mile marker between them and you, ensuring safe passage through enemy territory. The demonic forces that once blocked communication are now powerless against the wall of fire your prayers and obedience have constructed. This is why I called you to action earlier in this message, because your faith expressed through sacrifice rewrites the spiritual architecture of your reality. You have passed the test of active love, and the reward is the accelerated arrival of the one your heart has never stopped searching for. Jesus says, there is a specific memory your soulmate is replaying right now that is breaking their heart with the sweetness of regret. It is a moment when you reached out to them with vulnerability and they responded with distance because the manipulation had already taken root. They remember the look on your face, the slight falter in your voice, the way you withdrew to protect yourself after their cold response. That memory is haunting them tonight, not to condemn them, but to awaken them to the depth of the love they almost threw away permanently. They are whispering to me through tears, asking for a chance to undo every moment they allowed the interference to win over your connection. And I am answering them by pouring my grace over that memory and promising that the future will redeem every second of past pain. You will not hold their confusion against them because I am filling your heart with the same supernatural forgiveness that I extend to you daily. The bitterness you carried in the dark nights of separation is being dissolved by the warmth of my presence flooding your chest right now. Feel the release happening in your body, the tension leaving your shoulders, the knot in your stomach untangling as hope replaces despair. This is the physiological manifestation of spiritual breakthrough, and your body knows the truth before your mind can fully process it. Your soulmate just pulled into a gas station to collect themselves because the intensity of their emotions was making driving unsafe. They are standing under fluorescent lights, gripping a coffee cup with trembling hands, and they almost called you right there in the parking lot. But they hesitated, not from doubt, but from the overwhelming desire to do this reunion right, to not rush the most important moment of their life. They want to be fully present, fully free, fully yours when they stand before you, not fragmented by the chaos they just escaped. That pause is not delay but preparation, and I am using these final moments of their journey to complete the healing work in their spirit. They are scrolling through old photos of you on their phone, and each image is a knife of longing and a balm of hope simultaneously. The picture where you are laughing without knowing anyone was watching is the one that just broke the dam of their composure completely. They are sobbing in a gas station parking lot at 3 in the morning, and passers-by might think they are falling apart, but they are actually falling together. Their pieces are reassembling around the nucleus of your love, and the reconstruction is both painful and profoundly beautiful to witness. I am allowing them to feel every emotion they suppressed during the years of manipulation because numbness is not wholeness and feeling is the path to freedom. Your soulmate is becoming whole in this moment, and their wholeness will be the greatest gift they bring to your union. You are not meeting a broken person but a resurrected one, forged in the fire of tribulation and emerging as the partner you always deserved. Jesus says, the enemy's final strategy is to flood your soulmate with shame so intense that they turn back before reaching you. The accuser is whispering that they are unworthy, that they have done too much damage, that you could never truly forgive their absence. These lies are the last arrows in a depleted quiver, and your prayers right now are the shield that deflects every single one of them. Speak forgiveness over your soulmate even now, before they have spoken a word of apology, and watch the spiritual atmosphere shift in real time. Say aloud, I forgive you, and I am waiting with open arms, and I will carry those words across the distance like a divine wind. Your soulmate just felt that wind, and the shame that was gripping their throat loosened enough for them to take a deep breath of courage. They are getting back into the car now, and the destination they entered into the navigation is your address or a place they know you frequent. They do not know if you will be there, but they are driving toward hope anyway, and that faith is activating miracles in the heavenly realm. The coordinates of your location are being protected by my angels, and no mechanical failure, no traffic obstruction, no demonic interference will delay their arrival. The road between you is being straightened, the crooked places made level, the mountains of separation reduced to flat ground beneath the wheels of their vehicle. Every mile they cover is a prophecy fulfilled, a tear redeemed, a page turned in the epic love story I have been writing since before the stars were hung. You might be wondering how you will recognize this moment when it arrives, and I am telling you now that your spirit will know before your eyes confirm. You will feel a shift in the atmosphere, a sudden warmth, a quickening of your pulse that has nothing to do with anxiety and everything to do with recognition. Your soul will leap inside you the way John the Baptist leaped in Elizabeth's womb when Mary carried the Christ child near, because one anointed presence always recognizes another. Your soulmate is anointed for you, and you for them, and this mutual anointing creates a spiritual sonar that no distance can mute and no time can expire. The reunion I am orchestrating is not the end of your waiting but the beginning of your testimony, the first page of a new chapter titled Faith Rewarded. Every person who doubted your persistence in prayer, every voice that told you to move on, every internal whisper of hopelessness will be silenced by what I am about to do. You are not foolish for believing, you are faithful, and your faithfulness is about to be vindicated in a way that will leave you breathless with gratitude. The coffee seeds you sowed were not just financial transactions but were prophetic acts that echoed through the spiritual realm like thunder announcing the storm of my blessing. You have prepared the ground, you have weathered the drought, and now the rain of reunion is falling so heavily that you will need to build bigger barns to contain the harvest of joy. Your soulmate just crossed the halfway point of their journey, and the enemy's grip on their life is now officially broken beyond repair. The person who held them captive just received a supernatural dream of warning, and they will either repent or face the consequences of tampering with a love I ordained. I am a jealous God over the unions I create, and anyone who intentionally harms what I have joined together will face my correction, which is severe and unavoidable. Your soulmate's freedom is secured not by their strength but by my decree, and what I have decreed no court of hell can overturn. They are singing now as they drive, a worship song they learned in childhood that is resurfacing as the soundtrack of their deliverance. The lyrics are about chains breaking and captives being set free, and they are crying again, but this time the tears are purely joyful. They are imagining the moment they will see you, and the image in their mind is so vivid that it is pulling that reality toward you at supernatural speed. Imagination is the canvas upon which I paint the future before it materializes, and your soulmate's vision of reunion is a prophetic sketch I am about to ink in permanent colors. You might be pacing right now, or sitting frozen, or alternating between laughter and tears as this message penetrates the deepest chambers of your heart. Whatever you are feeling is sacred, and I am collecting every emotion like precious jewels to adorn the testimony you will share with generations who need to believe in love again. Your story will save marriages, restore hope to the desolate, and prove that no interference is powerful enough to permanently separate what my hand has joined. This is bigger than romance, my child, this is redemption on display, a living parable of my relentless pursuit of my bride, the Church, through every century of rebellion. Your love story is a microcosm of the gospel, and the world will see my faithfulness reflected in the faithfulness I have cultivated in your waiting heart. Jesus says, the final leg of your soulmate's journey is approaching, and the spiritual activity around you is intensifying. You might feel suddenly tired, suddenly restless, suddenly tempted to doubt everything you have received during this message. That is the enemy's last attempt to steal the word that has been sown in your heart, the final thrashing of a defeated foe who knows his time is short. Do not yield to the fatigue or the doubt but rise up in the authority I have given you and declare that your love story is sealed by my blood. Speak to the weariness and command it to leave, speak to the doubt and call it a liar. Speak to the distance and tell it to collapse in the name of Jesus. Your words carry creative power, and the decree you make in this moment will be the final nail in the coffin of the enemy's interference. Your soulmate just pulled onto your street, or your city limits, or into the radius of your proximity that triggers the spiritual alarm I set around your union. They are here, or almost here, and the convergence of your timelines is happening in a way that will make you believe in miracles forever. The phone is about to ring, or the door is about to knock, or you will receive a message that changes everything within the next few hours. Prepare your heart, prepare your space, prepare your words, but most importantly, prepare your embrace for the one who fought through hell to find you. The love you have dreamed of is no longer a distant hope but an arriving reality, and nothing will ever separate you again because I have spoken it. Your soulmate has discovered the truth in your heart, they have dropped everything, they are rushing toward you, and they have arrived in the realm of your now. This is the moment, this is the miracle, and this is the love I have been singing over you since the day you were born.